Good morning, everyone. Welcome to You Have Beauty Care Choices, the educational show that we created here at beautycarechoices.com to provide our consumers with a little more information on the products that they put on their bodies. This is really important to me as a hairdresser, as a mom, and as a person. Just recognizing that sometimes ingredients sneak into products that we don't really know everything about. And so I'm just one of those that I'm a curious one. So on these shows, you're learning right along with me. I bring in top educators, global educators from the brands so that you and I can ask the questions that we want to know. What are these products that we're putting on our bodies? And is there anything in the ingredients? Is there anything in the science and how to use the products to get the most out of it? So that's what You Have Beauty Care Choices is all about. Today's show is super exciting. I have been trying for a long time to get Jordan here from a new company called K18. In 2019, there was a new technology that started to hit the beauty industry about bonding, connecting bonds within the hair shaft to reconstruct hair and repair damage from chemical service. We saw a lot of different products coming out with different bonding formulas, bonding shampoos, techniques, 1, 2, 3 systems. And this one really caught my attention. It is an amazing brand right here in California. They are made in the United States and they have a groundbreaking technology that you all need to know about. Hairdressers, check out K18 if you haven't, and consumers, this is something really cool. You're going to want to stick around for this education, and I'm learning right along with you. From our great new educator to Beauty Care Choices, welcome to the show, Jordan Alexander from K18. Hi, Jordan.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, can't complain.
I just can't tell you how excited I am because this is such a new category even for the beauty industry. And so I just felt your education was so needed here at Beauty Care Choices. So that's why I've been stalking you to get you on my show. So you are the Global Sales and Education Director at K18. What does your job do? Do you educate salons?
Yeah, so basically what I do is I educate salons, stylists, distribution, everything else, both domestically within the US and globally. Prior to this, I worked for another manufacturer, launched that company in more than 45 countries. And then prior to that, I actually worked at Mesh Salon in Beverly Hills under Tracy Cunningham. For those that don't know who she is, you know the clientele we worked on: Jennifer Lopez, Cameron Diaz, Shakira, Kardashians, and about 60 or 70 other A-list celebrities. I bring that up because first and foremost, I am a hairdresser, and I still do maintain a color clientele as well to this day.
So you're practicing behind the chair, nothing like hands-on to really see the performance of anything, correct?
Yep.
So K18 was birthed, when did you guys start? Did you guys go to market in 2019 or 2020?
2020.
Okay. So it's
Yep.
a fairly new product, and you're made headquartered in San Francisco. You're coming to us from Los Angeles, correct?
Yep. So it is a fairly new product, but what I will say, what really differentiates K18 from everything else out there, K18 is basically an extension of the Human Genome Project, or when scientists mapped out the human DNA sequence. Basically, what our scientists have done over the past 10 plus years, they actually did the exact same thing for the keratin genome, mapping out all 1,242 decapeptides, which are the building blocks of hair, and basically testing each one of those peptides to see what would fit back into the hair like a missing puzzle piece.
Wow.
What differentiates K18 too is the fact that it wasn't created, typically most hair care products are created in a formulation lab. This was actually created on a computer, having to scan each one of those amino acid sequences to see what would fit back into the hair. So K18 is one of those patented peptides or amino acid sequences.
Boy, you got the people's attention in the room. All my computer techs are like, what? Created on a computer? That is fascinating. And so we kind of all can picture, if you know DNA, you know, in the molecule structure, and you picture that big, you know, round thing of the DNA. And, you know, as you break those bonds and molecules down, we have a nice, actually, since we're jumping into the science of it, let's just cover really quickly the clean aspects, which we do on our show. K18 is paraben-free, cruelty-free, sulfate-free, vegan, no artificial colors. Anything you can add on to that, Jordan?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are definitely vegan. We have no animal-derived ingredients. We also do not sell in any countries that do any type of animal testing or require animal testing. And then beyond that, we are also Leaping Bunny certified.
Awesome. So obviously meets the Beauty Care Choices standard of approval here. And so K18 it's basically only 2 products right now in the line. We have a professional product, which is a mist that hairdressers use. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. And then we have a mask. And the mask is a process that people can take home as well. So you can get a little one of these to help your hair. So let's go through the technology first, and then we'll cover who this is for, what type of hair and what type of benefits, and then we'll cover some before and afters of your work and then some other work that we've found. And then we have a visit from a stylist actually that just used it last night. So great show ahead. So let's start with the process. How does K18 work? We start with a healthy hair shaft, and then we get a chemical service, and that breaks down the bonds. So I get that far as a hairdresser, and I think the consumer gets that far. Okay, I went in, I had a service done, color, bleach, perm, straightener. The chemicals damaged my hair. Now what do I do?
So basically, one of the key differentiators is the fact that K18 is not really just a bond builder.
Okay.
So if we're to look at hair under a microscope, easiest visual comparison is to that DNA helix or to a bunch of interwoven or interconnected ladders. Now, anything we do in a salon, for instance, there we go.
Sorry. Perfect. No, you're great.
For instance, chemical services like color, lightener, perms, relaxers, will break that ladder down, not just the center of the ladder, but the sides of the ladder as well. But as we all know, hair is not only damaged in a salon, hair can also be damaged at home. I know many of you love to turn your flat irons up to 450 degrees and begin to barbecue your hair at home. So flat irons, curling irons, and blow dryers will also break that ladder down, as well as environmental damage from sun, from water, and things like that. Now, in the past, when dealing with damage, we had 2 separate solutions. Solution number 1 was cosmetic chemistry, and what that meant was, hey, let's load the hair up with a bunch of oils, silicones, film formers, things like that to give the appearance of healthy hair. However, underneath, that hair was still damaged, that hair was still broken.
Cosmetic chemistry, I love that term. Thank you.
Absolutely. Innovation number 2 came with bond builders. And what bond builders do specifically is they work on the center rungs of the ladder, being your disulfide bonds. The problem is, if we have a broken ladder, we duct tape the center rungs together and we do nothing for the sides. If we put that up to the side of our house and try to climb it, we're going to get halfway up, we're going to fall, we're going to break our neck, and we're going to have a really, really bad day.
Great visual.
What differentiates K18 is the fact that first and foremost, we focus on the sides of the ladder first, which are your keratin chains or polypeptide chains, and as a secondary result, the disulfide bonds also reconform. So if bond builders are like a BlackBerry, this is more like an iPhone. It's about taking everything that all of the previous products have done and expanding upon that and innovating upon that, going further and farther than any other product within the hair care industry.
The technology is unbelievable. I mean, I really have studied. You guys have a patent, right? This is something all new in the hair industry. This is not a knockoff of any other product. There is nothing like this, correct?
Yeah, and I think too, it's a bit different. We don't consider ourselves a hair care brand. We consider ourselves a biotech brand. We're basically looking at hair care through the lens of biotechnology. And what I will say is this is the first of multiple innovations to come. We have goals of reinventing what texture services are and also what color services are in the future.
Wow. So texture to the professional is perms for the consumer,
Great.
or any type of you know straightening or curling the different texture of your hair. That's what texture. So that's fascinating. So you guys have ideas. So in just like thinking about where would the K18 brand go, we have a mist, a professional product for in the salon chair, and then we have a mask that can be used take home as well. But then you could maybe even see you going into perms and colors and stuff like that. Next.
So our goal is to basically be the Apple or the Tesla of the beauty industry. We
Okay.
want to recreate or create new product categories entirely, because you look at the perm technology, you look at color technology, not much has changed, in the past 20, 30, 40, 50, or, for instance, color past 100 years. So there's a huge need for innovation and to really make a huge change within hair care, and especially for both the consumer and the hairdresser.
It is so true. I mean, when you think about, how long we've been rolling and foiling and spending 6 hours to accomplish certain looks. I mean, you can go back as far as obviously even the 50s of the big blow dryer bonnets, and it has kind of been the same perm technology. I mean, we've definitely increased with, a little more alkalinity or this or, whatever. But for the most part, the process has been the same. So that is so interesting to think of. What would be the new way? Will there be a product that you can now just put on your hair and it turns it curly?
So think about it this way. Look at how detrimental perms and relaxers are to hair. Now think about being able to do that without damaging hair.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So it's more from that aspect and being able to give you more choices.
Okay.
So for instance, in the past, if someone was a platinum blonde, there was no way you were ever going to put a relaxer or a perm on that hair, because otherwise you would end up with the hair on the floor generally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really it's just about providing more options and giving people the freedom to do whatever they want with their hair.
Because healthy hair is beautiful hair in all aspects of the word, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's get into this product. People have questions. People want to know how to use it. I want to show, let's start a little bit with maybe your work and talk about the process. Well, first, let's just cover the mist. Let's talk about the mist. This is only professional. This isn't for consumers, but this is a product hairdressers can use pre-service, correct?
Yeah, so basically what your professional stylist is going to do in the salon, they're going to start by gently misting the hair with water. And what that's going to do, it's going to swell the cuticle, and then they're going to apply a generous amount of the K18 mist to the hair. That mist is going to sit for 4 minutes, and then your stylist is going to apply and process on top of the mist. What that mist is doing is it's making the hair strong enough to withstand whatever service it is that you're doing. Color, lightener, perm, relaxer, keratin treatment, Japanese straightener, without having to increase your developer, without having to increase your processing time, but most of all, without having to add anything into your chemical services at all anymore. This is about dealing with the fabric of hair directly to make it strong enough to withstand whatever it is that we're doing. So
and that's the difference.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going into the fabric of the hair. It's not going into the product. You're not mixing it with other chemicals that are unknown of their chemical composition and how that will mix and how that will react. I mean, obviously, we all know different colors, color lines, different bleach lines, all have different types of chemicals in them. And so saying a one size fits all and mixing this in with other chemicals is scary in the salon for me. So I really like this process that you just put it straight on the hair. You're not mixing with any other chemicals. It stands alone as its own hero, right?
Yep.
Amazing. Okay, so then we'll move on to your hairdresser can do this in the salon before your treatment, have them check into K18 Professional. But then for those of you who are at home and need a mask treatment, how do we use the mask?
So what I love the most about the mask is the simplicity of the product. But what I will say first and foremost, mask is almost the incorrect name. When we both as consumers and as hairdressers think of the word mask, we think of loading as much product as possible into our hands and then throwing that on the hair. This is the exact opposite. Because this is a biotech product, a little bit goes a very, very, very long way. Easiest way to describe the amount of product used, if you have short hair, you are only going to use 1 pump or 1 ml of product. If you have medium length hair, you're going to use 2 pumps or 2 mLs. And if you have long hair, you're going to use 3 pumps or 3 mLs. But going back to the simplicity, you get in the shower, you shampoo your hair, you get out, you towel dry, you throw the mask in, you wait 4 minutes, and then you add additional styling products or begin to blow dry or air dry or just go about your day. Super simple, super quick, super easy, and it's going to work for all types of damage. Chemical, thermal, environmental. The best part is though, this is not a product for a specific hair type. This is a product for every hair type. Natural, curly, coily, fine, straight, it doesn't matter because all hair, when you get down to the chemical composition, is the exact same. All hair is damaged the exact same way. So this is a universal solution for damage on every single client, every single consumer.
Regardless of your texture, regardless of anything else, if you've got the damage, this is the one product. Everything you're saying, I'm actually, if people see me looking down, I'm actually writing questions for you because you're talking so much and I don't want to introduce you and I'm learning so much here. I love this. So the quantity you use is really important. I've heard this and when I've been studying other people using it, if you use too much, because hairdressers and consumers, we all like that 15 pumps, right? And then you're gonna, especially with long hair like me, you know, I want my hair drenched in it. And so you feel like it's not, you do, you know, for my hair, long hair, I would use 3 pumps and I would feel like that's never gonna distribute enough. And so can you address that?
Yeah, so the quickest, easiest way to do this, and what I recommend to everyone, start with 1 pump. And basically what you're gonna do, through your towel dried hair, you're going to work that through. When you think you've gotten all the product off of your hand, if you emulsify your hands back together, the product will basically milk back up and you'll realize that you still have a ton of product on your hand. So if you do it 1 pump at a time, you'll quickly realize that 2 to 3 pumps is going to be more than enough to get through your hair.
Wow. And so, okay, so 2 more questions coming in. 1, how important is a clarifying shampoo? And 2, why no conditioner? So we shampoo and no condition. Go straight to, and I think that might have been the genius behind calling it a mask, so people feel like it's more of a conditioner as well. But I get, you know, it's not.
So 99% of the time, whatever your favorite shampoo is going to work just fine. So the first time I actually used K18 was on my girlfriend, and she was what I would call a dry shampoo addict. She was going through about a bottle of dry shampoo a week. And basically what happened, we used a regular shampoo on her, and the shampoo didn't actually cleanse the hair of the product buildup. So if you are a very heavy product user, oils, silicones, dry shampoos, or let's throw it back, Aquanet, you may want to use a clarifying shampoo. Because otherwise, if you are that heavy product user and you don't remove that buildup, it's going to act as a barrier, and K18 is not going to be able to penetrate into the hair and be effective. 99% of the time though, whatever your favorite shampoo is going to work just fine. Just know that if you're a heavy product user, you may want to use your favorite clarifying or detoxifying shampoo beforehand.
That makes sense. Okay, well that's actually great because as we're talking about it over the phone with customers, we always wonder if we need to sell them a clarifying shampoo if they don't have one at home. And so if they're already buying good shampoos, good products that are water soluble and break down, you know, whatever, then they should be fine with that. So that was great information. How often can you do this?
So basically what we recommend as stylists is for the first 4 to 6 shampoos at home, use K18 after your chemical service, because basically what that's doing is it's repairing the hair and getting it up to an optimal level. From there, you're then going to switch more into a maintenance mode, which is more like every third or fourth shampoo.
Okay.
Frequency of your shampooing doesn't matter because I specialize in bleach and tones and fashion colors. I have some clients that don't wash their hair, maybe once every 10 days, once every 12 days, which if that's the case, for the first 4 to 6 shampoos, even if washing that infrequently, they're still going to use K18 with that. If you washed your hair every day, it would be the first 4 to 6 days, and then every third or fourth day from there. We want K18 to fit into whatever your normal routine is.
Makes sense.
Now, what I will say though, K18 is not a protein-based product, so if you wanted to, you could use K18 every single time you shampoo your hair. At home, we have replaced conditioner entirely because we like the way our hair feels better with K18. Speaking of the reason that conditioner is not required, healthy hair does not need to be masked. It does not need to be loaded with oils and silicones and things like that. That is the reasoning for not recommending conditioner after, because the goal of K18 is to get the hair healthy enough to where it doesn't require conditioner to mask things, to cover things up.
That is so brilliant. And I think we're going to see that more and more in the beauty industry going forward. As I see the cleaner products coming out, it is a different feel to the hair. It's much more fluffy and free and feeling natural, as opposed to this, weighed down silicone induced, what we've been doing in the beauty industry for so heavy. Great questions. Keep your questions coming. We have a question coming in. Can you use it on a beard?
Absolutely.
Okay. So would you need to use it on a beard? And if you don't have chemicals on your beard, would it still improve the health of your beard or hair without chemicals? Is there any need for that?
Because even if you're not doing chemical services on your beard, you're still going to experience environmental damage from sun, water, and everything else. Like, probably one of the most unique things that a lot of people don't think about. So, you know how you see like the surfer blondes at the beach all summer? Do you know why their hair lightens?
Why their hair what?
Why their hair lightens.
I would believe that the sun is bleaching it, kind of just like when we did as a kid, right?
So basically what's happening, the sun is mixing with moisture in the air. It's basically creating an environmental hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. So when you're out in the sun, that mixture of sun and humidity or moisture in the air is basically like the environment naturally lightening or bleaching your hair.
It is, and I always say this, that look what it does to the paint on your car. Look what it does to your hardwood floors by the sliding glass door, that it penetrates in. It will lighten the woods by the door. I try and think of natural elements that the sun just automatically affects, just like our hair. So why wouldn't it affect our hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so I want to go to the before and afters. We're going to finish with your work. I have a hairdresser here that used the product last night, but I'm not sure you'll see the exact before and after with her, which is the light. So I want to use the photos first to show people kind of what to expect. So these we took from your K18 website. Tell me, obviously her hair looks more hydrated. The curls look more supple, less frizzy. Is that what we're seeing here?
So basically what was done on her hair was a K18 treatment with the mask. And basically what happens with curly coily hair, when you start to over process curly coily hair, even if it's just heat styling, basically what will happen is the coil or the curl will begin to relax and kind of flatten out or straighten out. So because of what K18 is doing with both the keratin chains and the disulfide bonds, it'll actually help revert curly coily hair that has lost that curl pattern. So basically what's happened on her is through just a single treatment, she started to see her curls and her coils return to their natural state, basically prior to heat styling or anything else that had been done to the hair, or sun damage, environmental damage, and things like that. Because as you can see in the picture, her hair is completely natural and she's just experiencing thermal damage and environmental damage.
So, but also if she had highlighted her hair, because I know a lot of people with textured hair, they kind of are scared a little bit of using bleach or things like that on their hair because it will disrupt their curl patterns. Will K18 help with that, even on bleached coiled hair?
So it will absolutely help on that. The only time it would not help is, let's say, for instance, someone had had a sodium hydroxide relaxer on their hair.
Okay.
Because of what that's actually doing to the hair, the cleavage, the full removal of the portion of the disulfide bond through lanthionization, it's not going to revert relaxed hair, but if it's chemical damage, color, or lightener, or anything like that, it absolutely will.
Interesting. So if you've used one of the keratin straightening systems or the chemical straightening systems, you can still use K18 to repair the damage, but it won't revert your straightening system.
Yep, because it's also sulfate free too.
Amazing. That's so cool. Okay, let's see the next before and after. And what did we do with her?
So the feed is a little messed up. I don't know if you see it on your end right now.
Oh, no, I'm not seeing it.
No, now we're better.
Okay.
So for her, again, it was just, this was more of just like a light, very natural highlight, and then just a gloss or toner afterward. Really, it's about maintaining the integrity of the hair. As you can see, the lightener has been brought up slightly into the crown area. But just very gentle. Really, I mean, she had pretty healthy hair to begin with, and K18 in this situation was really just used to maintain the health of the hair during that lightening service.
Very cool. So I want to bring on Monique. Monique Kendrick here is our resident cosmetologist. She's also in our customer service center, so she answers questions on the phone, but she also owns a salon here in town. Monique, meet Jordan.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you today?
Doing great. How are you?
Great.
So Monique did the K18 last night, the mask treatment, on half of her head. And so I wasn't sure with the lighting and stuff right here that we would really be able to see it, but I wanted someone that used the product to talk about what was your process and what do you feel like the results were?
I mean, I obviously had a lot of damage. I just got through being coral, and so I put this over it in a lot of this color brown, and it turned green at first. So then when I used this, we had the tester, I only used about an inch on my hand, and I worked it in on just this side right here. And like almost instantly I could feel like a difference. My fingers went through my hair a lot easier. I could tell where it was, where it hadn't been yet. And I did emulsify my hands, like you said, and applied the rest of it that was on my hands. And just blow drying, when I did this side, I used a paddle brush on both sides and then used a blow dryer. And when I was paddle brushing it, I had to stop a few times on this side to get the tangles out. And then this side, it just slipped right through, and everything just feels so much smoother and silkier on this side. And I can really see the split ends on this side, and this just looks so much healthier. Like, it feels different. I can run my fingers through it without having to pull knots out at all now on that side. It made a huge difference.
Pretty cool there.
Yeah,
So
I love
Monique
it.
is a crazy hair color girl. She was coral. She was just bleached. So all of this hair has been through a lot.
Yes.
You know, the hair down here, it's probably been 45 different colors, right? By the end, because she's one that she's so brave with her hair and she'll change it up quite a bit. But I wanted her to come on, even with the smooth texture. You probably can't see because she has, obviously nice hair. But it's the muddiness. So right here, I wanted to talk about the color difference. So it feels as if over here, because the ends were very damaged, they soaked up to color. And as a hairdresser, we call that where it kind of looks muddy, like it just maybe soaked up too much color or something. And so it really gave her an even color porosity over here, where it goes even from root to end, where here she kind of gets a little darker towards the ends because they grab that color. And so is that something that you see with K18, that it also even turns the color into more of an even natural looking color?
So it's not going to change the color as much as it's going to help even out that porosity of the hair. So specifically, like when you're using K18 prior to a gloss or toner, you're typically going to see your gloss or toner grab more evenly throughout because of that change in porosity. And basically the reason that the side on her right looks shinier is because healthy hair has better light refraction. So it is going to change the color just based on the amount of shine that you see, but it's not going to do anything to actually alter the color itself.
Okay. And I think that's kind of what it looks like.
I could see some of the toner that, from shampooing a little bit coming out a little more. And so I feel like it just like filled in the missing spots in my ends. I don't know. It does need a trim still. So I just wanted to see the big difference without the trim and feel it without having it freshly cut.
So I know you're a hairdresser, but as a consumer at home, do you feel like this would be an easy process for someone to do?
So easy.
Okay.
Really easy.
And did you feel like your hair was super tangly? Because I know you used a clarifying shampoo.
I did. No, I didn't feel like it at all. I knew some people were having problems with it not using the conditioner. I did not. I felt like it made it slippery enough for me to get a brush through it without having any problems. And like my other side, I had lots of problems still getting a brush through it. It just glided right through. It was really amazing. I'm sold.
What I found too, for those that are having problems being able to get a brush through the hair, if you wait the full 4 minutes before trying to run that brush through the hair, it'll generally glide through pretty easily because basically K18's had time to repair the hair at that point. Mm-hmm. So if you're having issues trying to comb through immediately, just wait that 4 minutes and then comb through, and that'll alleviate that issue.
And I did my makeup while it was sitting in there before I blow dried, so I had plenty of time.
Thank you, Monique. So Monique here, you can reach her here at Beauty Care Choices. She also owns a salon here locally called Hair Candy, and she'll be doing the K18 services. So if people are interested, she's been educated by the best. Jordan Alexander here, global educator for K18. We're so excited and just privileged to have you with us, and thank you for your education. So you have some cool pictures. Just really quick, I want to go through some of your work. Anything you want to tell us that kind of sparks something we might not have told or covered?
So, I'll just go through the work really quickly. So this is my client, Melissa. She is Chinese. Her hair is naturally a level 1.
What?
Yeah. So for some reason, I've actually ended up specializing in Asian hair, specifically in LA. And a lot of that is due to just being willing to put in the time to do it. One of the biggest things I can say as a stylist, though, and this is something that I was taught, low and slow is always the best way to go. Mm-hmm. I don't ever use above 20 volume, ever.
Ever?
No.
Wow.
So
I love that.
Volume, but a client like this, if this was a new client, you're talking 8, 10, or 12 hours in the salon. I bring that up because as consumers, when you go to your hairdresser, we have amazing products, but we're not miracle workers in the sense that something like this is not going to take an hour or two. If you want to have beautiful platinum hair, you need to be willing to invest the time not only in the salon, but also in those return salon visits. If you are not willing to go back to the salon every 4 to 6 weeks, you should not have this type of hair. Because if you wait past that 6-week period, you have now turned your salon visit into a color correction, and your stylist is not going to be happy with you.
Every hairdresser around the world is going, amen, thank you, Jordan.
But most of all, with K18, this is a very, very significant amount of lightening on the hair, and we were able to maintain the integrity of her hair the entire way. Because the problem is, like, if you go level 1 to 10 and you blast through that hair, if the hair looks bad at the end, it doesn't matter what color you got the hair to, because unhealthy hair is not going to showcase that color.
And I will just tell you, most hairdressers going from level 1, as he's saying is blackest black, up to level 10, which is lightest light, or we kind of get to the 11s and 12s these days, but you're going to be lucky to still have hair on your head.
Yep.
Honestly, because so many hairdressers are kind of going to try and rush it. Time is money. We're going to throw a double 40 on that and lift it, and the next thing you know, you're a cotton ball or you're bald. So yep. I love your philosophy on this, low and slow. Expect, if you want many levels of lift, for it to take time. If you want beautiful hair in the end.
Applications.
Absolutely, and multiple applications. I was watching some of your techniques, and one of them was just reapplying in the foil and it's probably just 20 over 20. You just kind of just keep letting it continue to process, right? You just keep reapplying activated product rather than higher level developer.
Yeah, and basically what I'll do if I'm doing multiple applications, I'll go 20-20, and then a lot of the time I'll drop down to 10 at that point.
Wow, cool. Let's see the next one, Tobe. These are so cool. I love these pictures.
Yeah, so this is Alina and Elena. They are twins. They also own a tattoo shop in Los Angeles called Petunia Twins.
Hey, girls.
But basically, this was actually for Refinery 29. It was a series called Hair Me Out, for anyone that hasn't checked that out.
I love it.
But super, super fun. My girlfriend and I have been doing their hair for the last 2.5, almost 3 years now. But really, this was very easy. This was just a root retouch, and then really just having some fun with some fashion colors. Honestly, the most stressful thing about doing hair like this is trying to get that initial split into the hair, especially when you have a darker color on one side and much lighter on the other. If you screw that up, you will definitely see that immediately on that lighter side. So biggest thing here is just really being as precise as possible during that application.
Man, you mess up that part in the beginning, you're stuck.
Yeah. But again, it was utilizing K18 the entire time. They love to change the color of their hair all the time.
Like Monique. Yes.
Yep.
And so with these colors, people are kind of, becoming more familiar, but you have to lighten with bleach first to get this pink and orange to show up. You can't just put it over regular hair color. So there's a 2-step or 3-step process in this, and that's keeping that beautiful and looking so shiny is amazing. Great work. So let's see the last one. This is another beautiful shiny, and obviously you probably work on a lot of punky colors too, because they're the girls that really, really need K18, right?
Yep. So this is Meredith. She's also really big on TikTok. She makes the cat music videos out of cat noises and turns them into songs.
Oh yeah.
If you've seen that.
I have. That's cool. I do recognize her.
Yep. So super sweet, but yeah, I mean, she loves that pastel pink color. So I mean, we have to lift her to basically a level 10 every single time.
Wow.
To get her here. So utilizing K18 through that entire service. And she's also very, very good about utilizing K18 at home. She's one of our clients that is no longer using conditioner at all. Wow. And is only using K18 now just because she likes the way her hair feels. And obviously, wanting to maintain this type of color, it's super, super important to do everything we can to maintain the health of the hair.
Amazing. And it kind of brought to mind, have you ever heard of like the medication chase? Like you get on this medication and it has a side effect, so that then you need a new medication for that side effect, and then you need a new and that's kind of the history of how we've been doing hair. Is, it's just like you use this to do this, and so we're going to use this super heavy conditioner because my hair feels dry, and then I'm going to use this volume mousse, and then I'm going to use this, and then you've got all this buildup. So it's amazing when you break it down to the simplest element. You're going to have shampoo, and you use this mask, and you've got this fluffy, almost natural virgin feeling hair. That is modern technology.
That's our entire ethos, though. Less is more. Hair was not meant to have 8 or 10 separate products on top of it. When you look at the diameter of hair and you look at hair itself, it just wasn't meant for it.
Yeah.
Less ingredients, less products, better results, healthier hair, showcasing healthy hair, just by itself. You don't have to have a ton of beauty products on the hair.
I'm going to end right there, Jordan, because that was the most beautiful statement where Beauty Care Choices lives is less is more, and less ingredients and better performance, and trying to stay on top of the latest technologies to get us there. So thank you so much for your participation today and all the knowledge you gave us.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, and have a wonderful day.
So Jordan, just really quick before you go, how do we find out more about you? Where can we find you? We can do at Jordan Stylist on Instagram, correct? And at K18 Hair if you want to share your K18 stories, or if you want to find out more about Jordan's work. He's obviously probably not taking too many walk-ins, but...
Yeah, feel free to reach out via Instagram, either to myself or K18 Hair. Yeah, have a wonderful weekend.
Awesome. You as well. Have a great day.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, Jordan. So I hope you guys found that as interesting as I did. It was a little bit more technology and a little bit more chemical than we normally deal with here at Beauty Care Choices on this education show. We normally just kind of talk about more of styling and stuff. But this is modern. I mean, they're a biotech company getting into the beauty industry to improve our ease of use on products and the health of women and men using these products. All the time we're seeing new ingredients that have side effects, and they're now banning them and stuff like that. So I think K18 honestly is onto something. They are the wave of the future. So I hope you try their product and love it as much as Monique did. And if you want more questions, or if you have more questions and you want more information, you can reach Monique and other stylists at the number below, 866-409-7227. Have a great weekend and bye for now.